Welcome to MCCT, Microcrawler Capability Test. That's where we test and compare the driving performance and capability of micro trucks and microcrawlers from 1 to 18th to 1 to 24th scale. Trucks in stock condition as well as highly modified and upgraded ones. The trucks have to pass through 10 different tests. We'll get either points for their results or their performance will be graded, and the final scores will reveal the most capable microcrawlers. We check their climbing ability, descent performance, their tilt angle, their performance in overcoming easy and difficult obstacles, and their low speed modulation and low speed driving performance. Check the description for details of tests, scores, and mode of grading. Now let's start and present this episode's test trucks. In Microcrawler Capability Test, episode 30, we will test the FMS FCX18 Toyota Land Cruiser AT. The FMS FCX18 LC80 has a wheelbase of 160 mm and a weight of 558 grams. It runs on Tetra Z2 tires with 56 by 19.2 mm. It has portal axles, a 2-speed transmission and a 180 sized brushed motor. And it runs on a large 2S 900 mAh LiPo battery. And now let's check how the FCX18 can climb. Test 1. Climb on a rough surface. 45 degrees, no problem for the FCX18. 47 degrees. It's already struggling a little bit with its hard body, high-sitting hard body, roof rack, spare tire, but still manages to do 47 degrees and 48 degrees. Now it's really struggling. Come on. Nearly seems to be able to do it, but tips over. It has super nice low speed modulation, perfect for a brushed motor, but 48 degrees seem to be a little bit too much. Maybe without spare tire it would be able to do it, but we test the stock trucks here. And finally it was not able to climb 48 degrees, so 47 degrees and 2 points at test 1 climb on a rough surface for the FCX18 LC80. That's a shared place 38 for the FCX18 LC80 in test number 1 out of 47 trucks tested so far. The same result as the FMS Toyota LC80 with the same hard body plus interior has in test 1. We will compare those two trucks in detail at the end of this episode. Test number 2. Climb on a smooth surface, 45 degrees. No problem for the FCX18. 47 degrees, no problem either. And 48 degrees, it was not able to climb 48 degrees on a rough surface. And tips over again. But then it manages to climb 48 degrees. More than on a rough surface. Many trucks are better on a smooth surface. Will it also be able to climb 49 degrees? It's slipping. It's tipping. Come on, seems to be able. No, tips over again. 49 degrees finally too much, so 48 degrees and 3 points for the FCX18 LC80 in test number 2, climb on a smooth surface. And out of 47 trucks tested so far, that's a shared place 33 for the FCX18 LC80. And again, exactly the same result as the FMS Toyota LC80 showed. Test number 3, descent, stop, go up in reverse again. 45 degrees, not a big problem for the FMS FCX18. 46 degrees, still not a big problem, and 47 degrees, it falls, tips over. That's not really steep. Come on, but it falls. 47 degrees was too much, so 46 degrees and only 0.5 points for the FCX18 LC80 in test number 3, descent. And under 47 trucks tested so far, that's a shared place 37 for the FCX18 LC80 in test number 3. The FMS LC80 was much better in this test with 49 degrees on place 24. Tests 4 and 5, tilt angle to the left and to the right, 40.9 degrees. (38.6 degrees). So here are the results of tests 4 and 5 for the FCX18 LC80, 40.9 degrees to the left and 4.45 points for this, and 38.6 degrees to the right and 3.3 points for this. That's under 47 trucks tested so far, place 28 for the FCX18 LC80, and that's much better than the FMS Toyota LC80, which is only on place 41 in those tests. Test number 6, the flat side of the hill of branches. No problem at all for the FCX18 LC80, and 2 out of 2 points at test number 6. And test number 7, the steep side of the hill of branches. Most difficult test of MCCT probably. And check this out. First gear, problems. Second gear, no problem at all. The FCX18 in second gear, absolutely awesome here. In first gear, it struggles. And it can also fall, but check it again. First gear, problems. Second gear, absolutely perfect performance. And it has a second gear. At test number 7, steep side of the hill of branches, 8 out of 10 points. Absolutely awesome performance, at least on second gear. Test number 8, the flat side of the hill of pebblestones. No problem in first gear and no problem in second gear. 2 out of 2 points at test number 8. Test number 9, the steep side of the hill of pebblestones. Super difficult, but for most trucks, test number 7, the steep side of the hill of branches is more difficult. Not for the FCX18 LC80. It really struggles here. Again, in first gear, nearly no chance to climb the first step. In second gear, it's okay, but the main problem here are those tires. Those tires are super bad, at least for that kind of surface. It's like skating on ice or like using drift tires as soon as the truck climbed the first step. You can see it here, and it's nearly uncontrollable on the stones. It can do this super difficult first step, second gear and also can climb the hill and can do the test, but it fell. You saw it. It slips like on ice. So those tires have to be changed, at least for obstacles or ground like here, because it's uncontrollable on the pebble stones. However, if you pick the right line, test number 9 is not a big problem for the FCX18 LC80. As you can see here, and 5 out of 10 points here, but with better tires it would perform much better here. The last test of MCCT, test 10, low speed performance and modulation. And the FCX18 has absolutely awesome low speed modulation. Unbelievable. This 180 motor, in second gear it's nearly a basher. It has punch, unbelievable, and it's hard to control. And unbelievable punch. And in first gear the modulation is awesome. And this 180 motor even performs significantly better than the 130 motor in the FCX24. Check this out. This is nearly like brushless. It's not brushless, of course, but it's unbelievably good to control. You can climb this step as slow as you want. You can stop, forward, reverse. That's awesome. Fantastic. Best performance we saw in a brushed truck out of the box so far on test number 10. 4 out of 5 points here, and we will see if any brushed truck out of the box will ever be better. So the final score of MCCT episode 30, the FMS FCX18 Land Cruiser 80. Here again all 10 tests performed and all points gained, and we see the FCX18 is really good in tests number 6 to 10, so in climbing and low speed modulation and performance, but because of its hard body and super high center of gravity, roof rack, spare tire, it's not really good in climbing steep inclines. So performance in test 1, 2 and 3 was not really good. Tilt angle is already okay because of its improved shocks. And all in all it gains 35.25 points. And now let's compare the FMS FCX18 LC80 with the FMS LC80, which was tested in episode 9, the old model, which also has the same hard body but additionally does have an interior. And we see the FCX18 does have 35.25 points, while the FMS LC80 only does have 16.25 points. The FCX18 could climb all obstacles, while the LC80 in old version couldn't climb the steep side of the Hill of Branches and the Hill of Pebblestones. However, performance in climbing steep inclines, test 1 and 2, was equal. Both gained 2 and 3 points only, which was not really good in tests 1 and 2. And in test 3, descent, the old LC80 was even much better than the FCX18 LC80. In tilt angle tests, the FCX18 was much better than the old LC80, what's probably because of its much better shocks and to its wider axles. And the low speed modulation performance of the FCX18 is way better than the performance of the old LC80. It has an awesome 180 motor, while the old LC80 does have a 050 motor, and the new electronics, the FlySky electronics with really good ESC, while the old LC80 does have the old turbo racing radio and receiver combo. And out of 47 trucks tested so far, the FMS FCX18 LC80 takes place 16 with 35.25 0.25 points. It is the highest ranked truck with hard body, and this large heavy hard body and super high center of gravity for sure significantly affects its performance. However, the FCX18 LC80 is better than the FCX24, does also have significantly more points, 35.25, while the FCX24 does only have 26.9 points and takes place 19. So this result is really good for a truck with hard body and scale accessories and therefore super high center of gravity. Awesome truck and first upgrade, most necessary upgrade for the FCX18 LC80, probably better tires. New, better sticky tires will for sure improve its performance, mainly on smooth, slippery surfaces such as pebblestones. And that's it for MCCT episode 30, but watch out for the next episode of MCCT. There are still a lot of trucks to be tested. MCCT will be back.